Hi guys, you'll see two different outfits on this video, and it's because I was editing and I thought that it needed more information. I know you've seen a lot of self-care and self-love videos, and it's mostly about taking yourself out on dates, buying yourself flowers, taking yourself on a trip, and such things. I know you've done them, and now you're disappointed because you still look in the mirror and you do not like what you see. You'd think that because you took yourself on expensive dates to the best restaurants and you paid for yourself to travel, you'd think that that would make you have higher standards when it comes to dating. But here you are still accepting the bare minimum. You'd think that doing skincare and applying makeup and telling yourself positive affirmations on the mirror would fix everything and you'd see yourself as beautiful. But here you are looking at the mirror and hating what you see. You'd think that spending time with yourself and all that you did would make you want to be you. But you still look at other people and want to be them. And here's why: everything that you've been given is just an icing on the cake. It might be the best icing in the world, but then if the cake isn't prepared well, you won't eat it because the cake is a foundation and then it can be decorated with all these things. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad to take yourself out on dates or do skincare. It's really not. You can do these things simultaneously, but you can't only embrace the aesthetic part of self love and expect to actually be healed and expect to actually love yourself without doing the hard work. You don't do it for one day, for a week, for a month, and everything is okay. There are things that are so ingrained in you, there are things that started in childhood that you still believe to this date that cannot be undone with just one trip or 1 month of journaling. It will take you time, and it's important for you to know this so that you're not disappointed when 3 months in, you're still not where you want to be. It's not a linear process, it's messy, it's normal, it's a journey. Be prepared to take this journey with yourself and to be patient with yourself and to give grace to yourself because you'll need it. You will need lots of it. So let's take on this hard part, and I invite you on this journey to get to know yourself better, to get to love yourself, to get to heal, to get to discover new things about yourself. So today we'll be talking about loving yourself through it all: the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's really easy to love the best versions of yourself, but then when it comes to loving the bad parts and then now going to the downright ugly parts, it's really hard. If you haven't really stretched that muscle, it will be super hard for you, and sometimes you won't even acknowledge that those parts of you exist because you just can't come to terms with having those parts of you. If you had a friend who only loved you during your best days and did not love you when you were down or when you were struggling or when you did something bad, you wouldn't say that that person loves you because love doesn't work like that. It's not selective. It doesn't say, I'm only going to love the good version, this other version. No, that's not how love works. It actually beats the purpose of love. There's this thing we're taught in school called unconditional positive regard, and therapists are taught to have this for their clients. So, what it means, it's basically that there is nothing that you will do that will make your therapist stop seeing you as inherently human and inherently lovable. If you come and tell your therapist that you went back to your ex, the one that's abusive, the one who is not good for you, or the one who does not respect you, they will not stop seeing you as human or someone who's lovable. They will still see you the same way. Let me make something clear. When you have unconditional positive regard for yourself, it doesn't mean that you accept every single behavior that you do. You can still love yourself and still correct yourself and still not like what you did and still not want to repeat that same behavior. But it just means that you still see yourself as a human and you still see yourself as a lovable human being. When you do something wrong, it's normal to feel guilty and it's normal to feel regret. But then what's not healthy for you is when you stay there, is when you beat yourself up and you continue beating yourself up and make that action something that makes you into someone who lost the privilege to be loved. So, what can you do if you do not have this for yourself? You can start by imagining what you will do if your friend came with you with the same problem. You can imagine how compassionate you will be towards them. You can imagine how understanding you'd be towards them and start doing that for yourself, having no judgment and just being compassionate towards yourself, correcting yourself and telling yourself, I don't like what I did, but there's something I can do to change it. And sitting here feeling guilty will not change what you did. And second of all, it will not help you become a better person. Loving yourself is more effective in changing behavior than guilting and shaming yourself. Something else you can do is think about the people around you, the people you love, and think about the times they were imperfect and think about how you reacted to that. You never stopped loving them. You still saw them the same way. You just saw them as human. It's like they became more human because they're not perfect. And you did not stop loving them. And so you shouldn't stop loving yourself just because you saw this part of you that you do not like. Here's the hard part. The thing is, you need to have a home in yourself where you can run to. It's like having two people in your life. There's someone you can run to, like no matter how bad you've messed up. And you know they'll still be there for you and hold you down and they just got you. And then there's this other person who you can never, ever tell them whatever you did. So this is how you are to yourself. So you need to cultivate a home in yourself so that whenever you mess up, you can run to yourself and know that you're safe there and know that you still have a home, you're not kicked out. Sit down with yourself and write down why you think that if you make a mistake, now it's over for you, but it's not over for other people. Whatever comes to mind, don't overthink it, don't complicate it. You have the answers within you. You just need to get to them. So just write down the first thing that comes to your mind and then go on from there. Like the first things may not be the root cause, but they will lead you there. So, like, the first thing you may write will be like, I do not have room to be imperfect. And then you can start asking yourself, why? You know, just prove yourself and ask yourself why. And just write down whatever comes to your mind. And then sit down with these thoughts and then take time to think about them and finally accept them, because knowing something is one thing, but then accepting that you actually think these things about yourself is another. And it might take you some time to get where you accept that this is how you think about yourself. But one thing I want you to know is that just because you think them does not mean it's true. It just means that that's what maybe the world has shown you. That is what the people you've met have shown you, but it doesn't mean that it's true. Don't be afraid in accepting it. And after you accept it, then you can start questioning whatever it is that you have accepted. To get to know yourself, there's a lot of introspection that you need to do, and there's a lot of acceptance that you need to do. so that you can get to where you want to be. So don't be scared. It doesn't mean it's true. Until next time, bye.